Gemini, hello, Amanda here. Welcome to Unseen Hands Healing. This is going to be your February shift reading. So we're looking at the shape you're shifting out of, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shift looks and feels like throughout the month. So before we get into cards, I'll tell you a little about the meditation that came through as I was sitting with your energy. I saw you holding up a clear prism, maybe a crystal or something, but it was a clear, very clear prism, holding it up to the light, and I had lots of different angles to it, and you were looking through each angle up at the light, and then you found the angle that showed the rainbow, the full spectrum of light through this prism. So to me, that's saying something about looking at something from all angles, looking at something from every angle, and specifically looking, it seemed like you were looking for the angle that would show you the rainbow. Maybe you're looking for the answer to something that brings the most hope, that offers the most inclusive perspective, you know, all colors of the rainbow, looking at something from every angle here in February. Interesting energy to start out with, very Gemini, in my opinion. You know, Gemini is the twins being able to hold seemingly opposite concepts. It's a very air sign thing to be able to do, but especially Gemini. So we're gonna use the Slow Holler deck. Let's get into it. Let's see if we can illuminate that image a bit in the cards. First, we're gonna ask, what is the shape that Gemini is shifting out of in February? What is the shape that Gemini is shifting out of in February? It's your card. It's your card, Gemini, the Lovers. Interesting. Off the top of my head, my instincts are telling me this has something to do with, because these particular lovers are like two sides of the same coin, but very different in some way. They're very similar, yet very different. And you can see the ways that their hair is braided together and meshed together. And there's one of them is holding scissors at the bottom here, wanting to separate, wanting to cut some of that enmeshment. And so I'm wondering if that is resonant for you, or if there is something to do with like needing to get a more objective view of things rather than a view that is sort of all enmeshed in somebody else's view. I don't know. Let's see where this goes. Let's look at the shape that you are shifting into in February. What is the shape that Gemini is shifting into in the month of February? Woo, way too many cards. That is so many cards. Okay. They might all belong to you though. I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna take them because I think 3 came out very specifically, and I tend to choose 3 cards to represent what your shift looks and feels like, and then 1 flew out separately, which is the Fool. And I'm seeing this story emerge here. So if you're shifting out of this sort of enmeshed perspective, you're making a very clear choice to go out on your own in some way with the Fool. This is the shape you're shifting into. You can see in this Fool card, it says the fledgling, which is lovely. It indicates, you have 2 major arcanas for your shift here, Gemini. It's already indicating that perhaps this is like a much larger shift for you rather than something super specific. Could be. And there is a major arcana here in your 3-card transition part of the spread. So I'm thinking this is probably a pretty major moment for some of you, a choice to separate and go off on your own. That is very clearly what is here. Now this could be a separation from someone in your life. This could be a separation from a group that you identify with. This could be a separation from a part of yourself that you tend to identify with. It's like there's really, whatever this is though, Gemini, especially since this is your card, the Lovers is the Gemini card in the tarot. So this could be a separation from a part of yourself that you have very much identified with, or an enmeshment with another that has caused you to kind of identify with them so intensely, or a group so intensely. And now it's like time to go off on your own, time to start over. This 0 card here, it's time to start this clean slate that's going to take you on a new journey, a new adventure. And I think it requires quite a leap of faith for you to do this, for you to make this choice. That's typically part of this Fool energy, is like, I gotta be ready to go. And when my gut says it's time to go off on your own in some way, I'm gonna follow it. I'm gonna follow that, even if I can't see very far in front of me, even if I can't see where that choice is really long-term leading me, I'm gonna go. What a shift. So what that shift looks like, we've got the Hierophant in reverse, the Queen of Swords, and the 3 of Wands. Okay, so in the Slow Holler deck, this is the Guild, the Visionary of Knives, and the 3 of Branches. I like this shift because essentially what we're seeing is, you know, the guild, a guild is like a larger collective or a larger community or a group of people. The Hierophant often talks about commitments. It could be like a marriage could be a commitment to your higher self. It could be a commitment to an institution that you work with, you know, like whatever it is, it's some sort of higher energy that has its eye on something collective that you are committed to here. You know, like a higher institution could be marriage. It could be an academic institution. It could be, you know, some sort of umbrella. I'm feeling this as some sort of like umbrella that you are committed to. Again, sort of reflecting this commitment here that you are cutting ties with in reverse. It feels like you are cutting ties with something because you are trying to see, you are able to, it seems, see your truth, or you're being guided by this owl, okay, by the wise Queen of Swords, to have the vision, to see clearly the ways that this, whatever you are connected or committed to, again, could be within yourself. What are the ways this is serving you, and what are the ways this is not actually aligned with your truth? And where do you need boundaries? That's what the Queen of Swords asks. The Queen of Swords asks, hey, what's the truth? What is your truth? Because again, I felt with that like prism in the beginning, you have the ability, Gemini, to look at all angles and see all sides. But you're trying to find here the angle that's got the rainbow. And I think the one that's got the rainbow is actually the one that is your truth. Because at the end of the day, it's important to hold all truths, I almost wanted to say as self-evident. Interesting. You want to be able to hold all perspectives, but at the end of the day, when it comes to making the right decision for you, the onus is really on you to figure out what your truth is and to carry your sword and your sword alone. Carrying multiple truths would weigh the Queen down. The owl knows that you've got to carry one truth. And doesn't this owl look fierce? This visionary of knives coming in like, right? Coming in with the knife, again, a blade, just like the scissors, that is here to kind of cut whatever needs to be cut here with something that you are committed to in order to send you on the journey, your own journey towards your future. And I love this particular Three of Wands because it shows this journey of like a completely barren branch that's only thorns. And we go to the second branch where there's mostly thorns, but a few things are budding. And now here you are, Gemini, at the turning point. You seem to be at this turning point where you are now navigating this way because you want to go to full bloom. You know, you're at this branch where things are now about to pop off. But in order to do that, there's something about you need to start over. You need a new start that is perhaps separate from something or someone or some way of thinking that you have very much committed yourself to. The Queen of Swords comes in and goes, and you're off on your own, on this leg of the journey that wants you to bloom and needs you to be on your own and doing something totally new, some sort of total clean slate in order to do that. The Three of Wands in this deck indicates quite a journey. Quite a journey. I think you have already been on quite a journey, right? Haven't we all? But there's something here about the turning point in your journey that is very difficult to navigate, which is why perhaps you are at this stage where you're kind of like turning it around in your brain, turning the prism, trying to see it from all angles, trying to figure out how to navigate this. Very interesting shift here, Gemini. You know, you're navigating towards the sun. That's what's in the background of this Three of Wands. You see the winding river or the winding road, this long journey to the horizon that is moving you towards the sun. The sun being full illumination. I saw the sun on the bottom of your deck in your pre-shuffle, so that's interesting. And then like holding the prism up to the light to get the right light for illumination. That seems to be something, a clue. It's like you need to move on the path towards illumination. And I think perhaps this shift that you're making in February to separate yourself from something, while it does send you off on the beginning stages of that path, it's just the beginning. So you're not necessarily going to be able to feel like you have full illumination at this time. The Fool in this card is setting off in the dark with just a flashlight. You might not be able to see the full path ahead and to see the full results of the choice you just made or the choice you will make in February, wherever you are in this story. But you've got to trust that the choice you made or will make came from you knowing what's right for you and you advocating for your own needs and your own truth. Gemini, okay, we're gonna get you an oracle card to end this reading. But just so you know, this is only the first half of this reading. If you would like to continue the reading with me, I'm going to take it into an extended reading where we will use other decks here to clarify what we have in front of us, to get more specific. This was just a general look at February for you. Now we want to get more specific. What exactly is this decision that you are making? What is this thing that you are attached to that you're feeling like you need to detach from? How do you detach from that? Okay. And then, you know, what is the advice for you as you start this new journey? And maybe we can get a little clue into where it's taking you, where the whole thing is leading. Okay. So we will look into all of that. And if that sounds interesting to you, stick around at the end of this reading. There will be a preview of the extended. If that is resonating with you, you click the link in the description below and that will take you over to Patreon where you can view that extended reading, okay? Patreon is a community that I have started for folks that have been following my work that really resonate with what I'm offering. And if that sounds like you and you'd like to view the extended readings for the monthly shifts every month, Patreon may be the spot for you. So go over there, check it out, read the full description, okay? And if you have any questions, reach out to me. Okay. All right, friends, let's get you an oracle card here and we will end your reading. This is a postcard from the liminal space for Gemini as they make this choice and start something new here in February. What is the advice for Gemini in February 2020? Aha, okay, interesting. We have absolutely not. I love this card. It's like all these roads lead to absolutely not. This feels like Queen of Swords energy. Don't you think? Don't you think she's saying absolutely not? You know, it's like this owl swooping in as you're headed down this path. The owl swoops in and goes, nope. Nope, I'm blocking your way. Notice how she's like filling the whole card. Absolutely not. She's blocking the way for you. It's like there's something you are saying no to, or a way is being blocked. And I wonder if there have been some road signs already telling you, don't go there, don't go there, don't go there, don't go there. Interesting. I kind of want to get you one more. One more bit of advice for Gemini in February. Okay. Welcome to the liminal space, pal. Welcome to the liminal space. The space in between where you are very much like the fool wandering in the woods, not being able to see very far in front of you, and then all of a sudden a door opens in the fabric of your reality. In the fabric of what you are used to calling reality, some sort of portal, some sort of doorway opens and invites you to step through. There, you know, welcome. Welcome to the liminal space. Whatever shift you are making here in Gemini, I think, or in February, Gemini, I think it is putting you into a real sense of setting off into the unknown. Wow. Okay. So if you'd like to join me over in the extended where we will hash some of this out and figure out what's going on here for real, I'll see you over there. If not, Gemini, thank you so much for watching. It helps the channel grow. If you click that like button on this video, subscribe to the channel. I'd so appreciate it and would love to have you here. So thank you for watching, Gemini, and happy February. Ooh, it's leading you to a new beginning that is way more emotionally mature. King of Cups, which could also be a person. You know, it's like maybe if you leave the Knight of Wands energy behind, you have the chance for a new beginning with a King of Cups person who may be more aligned with your energy. Either way, this is signifying a journey into emotional maturity. Here's the Three of Wands. The journey to you blossoming is essentially a journey towards emotional maturity for you. You have to embody this King of Cups energy. Whether you're going to attract a King of Cups or not, or whether you want to stay with your Knight of Wands or not. You know, it's like regardless, you need to embody this kind of emotional maturity. And the way you do that is by aligning with your truth, the sword of truth